Namaste. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome. This is Sadhana, and it has been ages since I have done an unboxing video. I have had the pocket edition of the Matronua in my hands for a few days now, and I've decided to share the joy of unboxing this with you. And so let's do this together. And I also have the first edition of the Matronua at my side, and we'll do a little bit of a comparison between the two decks. And I want to thank Valentina for this gorgeous package. This is number 47. How interesting. My edition of the larger one is 74 or 174. Just something about numbers that I really enjoy and seem to find such a great connection with. I'm contemplating doing a summer series starting on the 21st of June, much like I have done with my Advent calendar for the last few years, doing a small reading, some words of inspiration, and so happy that I can have this pocket deck to be a part of that summer series, because it will be smaller decks that I will be taking with me out and about. So much detail goes into Valentina's work. And if you are not aware of the artist who is Valentina De Luca, there's something that I would like to read to you. This is a note from the artist herself, and she writes, "At a time when many decks are created almost entirely through digital tools or artificial intelligence, the deck you hold in your hands was proudly conceived, drawn, and painted by me using traditional tools, pencil, brush, and pigment. Behind every card of the Tarocchi Italiani di Matronua, there are between 6 and 48 hours of intense painting, work, as well as many years of study and tarot reading. By choosing this deck, you are supporting my work as an artist and giving value to human craftsmanship and creativity over mass production." This lovely pocket edition is the same beautiful cardstock, uncoated paper, sharp corners. The pocket deck background is more off-white, and it appears that there is a greater intensity of color. The three-dimensionality of these paintings is absolutely stunning. It's almost as if I feel the humanness of each of the figures in these decks. I could associate a voice, certainly an energy, significant change in the Lover's card. And just like the first edition, we have the original artwork here. And so, which card to keep in the tarot? And depending on your tarot studies, where you are in your journey with the Tarot de Marseille or other tarots, there could be times or even readings where you choose to include one and then on another occasion include the other. Even the dust feels real. You know, I just had this thought. that this chair, this throne of justice, is a place that we go to sit. It's a place that we go to be in contemplation as we move through this issue of justice or adjustment, whatever karma is coming to the forefront at this time. This is such a gorgeous hermit card. And we have, of course, Il Tempo from the original deck. And the Wheel of Fortune. And the new Wheel of Fortune, which you can see on this postcard, larger image. I quite like this one. And the details in the background will provide so much more information. This is beautiful, Valentina. La Forza. I feel like there are so many journal prompts, potential questions for the Hanged One. And if you haven't studied this card, one book I would recommend is J.M. David's. There's such a richness to this card that we don't find in working with contemporary tarot, and I really encourage you to spend some more time with. Oh, and we have a new death card, a more active one with the scythe. I quite like the original beautiful temperanza. And how clever to draw the energy almost horizontal. There's a force that connects the silver and the gold pot. Brilliant connection here with the Hierophant card, the Pope card. I love how she has done that. And the original, Diavolo, which feels more playful, like we'd see perhaps in some of the older Italian decks or the Minchiate tarot. The clarity of the pocket deck is just stunning. Amazing printing job. La Stella. La Luna, the expression on the face looks a lot like a child's face. And I feel like in the waters below we're in an aquarium. Notice the sternness of the face in the original version of, or the older version of La Luna. This is a very interesting card in that it appears there's almost a force, a magical energy in the wall between the boy and the girl. And this is a card that doesn't contain the lovers that we often see in older Italian decks. And I think this is a reason that I will include the more amorous looking love card in the deck, because Il Sole is not speaking to the energy of love. This is a new Sole card. Look at that happy face. This is a gorgeous sun, my goodness. I'm making an initial decision which card to keep in, because I will be doing a reading after I have finished this walkthrough. Judgment. Extraordinary paintings. And the World. I'm going to have to go back and look at some other old Italian tarots and have a look at the angel or the cherub above and below, because I don't think I've ever noticed that before. The details in the Ace of Cups are really, bar none. I feel as if I could walk into the city within the cup. There are some changes to the floral work in the second version. So the pocket version, I believe, is just a smaller version of the second edition. And the second edition, the cards are not as big as the first edition, but of course they're larger than the pocket edition. And other than the shift in the paper color, these two cards feel the same. So I think I'll go through quite quickly, and when I notice a change, I will pause. This is the first one that I really notice a change, and I just wonder if I would speak to these cards any differently. And I think the intention was to make the floral embellishments look more natural. Can see subtle changes. But the Four of Cups certainly looked different. This card truly moves my heart. The profound contemplation, the gentle steps on the path. Wow, reflection in the water. Such a friendly expression on the Queen. And the King of Cups. I was curious to see how this deck was packaged because, as many of you know, I have been working on a Minchiate series and learning a lot about the value, the points, and the different way that some of the minor suits are perceived in the game of Minchiate. And I was kind of hoping that this was packaged cups and then coins, because in Minchiate, that's how, because in the Minchiate tarot, the cups and the coins have a different value than the swords and the wands. So this one is packaged cups and then contrasting with the dynamic energy of the baton. And you can see some change here to the flowers. And again in the 4. And the 6. The reds are redder. And of course, in Italian, they're not baton, but bastoni. It's interesting in this deck, the age difference between the pages and the knights is certainly significant. There's a definite maturity to the Cavalier. And both the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Wands have very friendly, gentle faces. Wow, what an interesting character we have in the King of Bastoni. Just look at the detail on the garments. Change of flower. And for those of you that are aware of floral names and the energy of flowers, these changes will be very important. And I suppose that the iris here is more recognizable as opposed to the artistic license we have with the flower in the first edition. The central sword in the odd numbered cards appears, oh, they're all different too. What I was going to say was it appears less powerful, like it has a different story to tell. Whereas the two swords in the front of the 10 feel quite dynamic. Fonte de Spade looks very intelligent. Wow, Valentina, this is extraordinary, the way that you have painted. Oh, the Knight of Swords, oh my goodness. Now here is a rather disconcerting face. What is she looking at? This is going to be a great card in a reading where you're looking at a card to the left of this one. And you'll note that they are not looking at each other. She's not very happy with him. All right, Ray de Spade. And then finally we have the suit of coins. Slight change in the color of the metal as well, too. And roses in the new edition. Another subtle change of flower in the 5. What a lot of work to redraw the floral embellishments. Oh my goodness. This is beautiful. Really beautiful. I love the change in the 10 of coins. I notice how in the Matronua, the coin that is on the ground is actually, looks as if it's concealed within the earth. I love that. The printer did such a good job with these cards. Oh my. This gown is extraordinary. The details in the hair, just everything. And you know, something else about this deck that I really love is the white space. So I'm going to shuffle the pocket deck and do a reading. This is a reading for the new moon in Gemini This is recorded on the 14th day of June 2026, just hours before we reach the exact degree of the new moon. This feels very much like a time of transition. And I know there are many who are feeling overwhelmed, and yet it feels as if the uncertainty, the heaviness that we may hold in our hearts is all for a very important purpose. And so I ask the cards to speak to this and perhaps give us direction as we move into the energy of the moon as it waxes. And as always, I ask this message be in the highest for the greatest good, and that no harm be done. So be it. Let go, let go. What if you trust that feeling vulnerable is exactly how you need to feel at this time? What if you embrace vulnerability? What if you release the blanket that you have wrapped around your shoulders? What if you bravely expose a shoulder or a truth? What if you let someone know that you feel this way? Let go and know that feeling vulnerable is just part of the process. This was the second card. Look at that focus. And she is serious. She's really serious about this focus. Let's lay these out as they were drawn. 1, 2, 3. I feel as if she is, or they are, recognizing a gift of the Tower. Perhaps in allowing this experience, a gift has revealed itself. And it could be one of those metaphorical gifts. Something actually is found or recovered or given to you. Perhaps you see something in a new light, and that token material something takes on a greater meaning. And I almost feel compelled to dig through the rubble, or you know those memes you see on Facebook where it says, make note of the first thing you see or the first word you see. Well, if you were to look at, perhaps there's chaos on your desk, and you look at all of the items on your desk, stand back a little bit further. What is the first thing that you see? There's something here about a material object coming into focus that will reveal its gift to you. It feels like you've got this. You really, really do. And she looks anything but vulnerable. And yet I think there's a sense of aloneness and being okay in that aloneness. You have recovered a lot. And I wonder if the energy of the 16th Arcanum was some time ago, and that this understanding is something that finally you're going to understand. That it's taken forever for you to see this, but you are indeed seeing it now. In every way, you have survived. Better than survived. You really have come out on top. And if it doesn't feel like that, then this is a time to sit in reflection, focusing on that material object, giving yourself space. I imagine this queen here barefoot underneath that heavy gown, feeling the floor, the carpet beneath her feet. And while there may be nothing around her, everything may be gone, everything may appear to be lost, she knows in her heart of hearts that she's one. And so if there were a waxing message, what is it what kind of energy would I benefit from building, growing at this time? What would it be? Well, I think this reading speaks to a certain attitude, and the fact that with queens, them being associated with cardinal energy, that you are fully equipped to build, to rebuild, that your gifts are greater than you are seeing in this moment. So trust that all is going to be well. And I really do invite you to think back some time ago about, maybe there is a present tower moment, but perhaps reflecting on older tower experiences and just how far you have come since that time, and that you continue to have this energy that is going to carry you forward. Continue to cultivate that. Cultivate your inner strength. Cultivate your physical strength. And I'm picking up here on the cardinalness of queens as far as astrology goes. Both of these queens are receptive queens, so they really lean into their femininity and find their power through their divine feminine selves. And so no, this is not about charging ahead, but about truly listening to who you are and what you're made of and what you have always wanted to be. That this unraveling was absolutely necessary for you to become. And so in some way, I hope this helps. And I want to thank Valentina for this extraordinary tarot deck, and know that you'll be seeing much more of it on my channel as I figure out what I'm going to do for my summer series. The very best to all of you. New moon blessings. Take good care. Namaste.